All right, we got to talk about PSEG Long Island and the disgrace that PSEG Long Island has become. And I'm not even going to look at their outage map because it's useless. There's completely wrong information on there. We were promised when LIPA was quote unquote changed to PSG Long Island, we would have better organization. But it is clear that they have failed tremendously. All the damage that I saw, almost all of it, especially in Hicksville, is still there. It's still there. The snap poles on West John Street, the trees on the wires on a residential street by the mall, another leaning pole that's leaning toward an apartment building, an apartment complex there in Hicksville. None of this has been fixed. And what's even more outrageous is that this leaning transmission pole, which was damaged from the storm, leaning in Westbury, by the Westbury train station, has been left like this. This is a transmission line, and it's being left in this state now for days. Passed by again today, it was still there. And then I passed by in the evening, and it was still there. No one on site to fix it. In fact, I've hardly seen any PSEG Long Island trucks anywhere. We have clear dangers that are all over our island right now, and there is nothing being done to address them. That's pole in West John Street. I mean, how do you leave a snap pole like this for days on end? It's live. It's energized. This is dangerous, and nothing is being done. Nothing is being done by this. It's like, where are they? PSEG Long Island report an outage, but people can't report an outage. That's the problem. People can't get through to PSEG to get information. Their outage map is inaccurate. Oh, look what they have. Supporting the business community. Babylon Village, of course. Vital, of course, Babylon. What else is new? It's all about the South Shore, right? So, storm preparation, they haven't been prepared. That's just the thing. They haven't been prepared at all. And their outage map, it doesn't work at all. All right? They did a good job in New Jersey restoring power, but here they didn't. And it's not PSEG, the company. This is just a name, PSEG Long Island. Behind the scenes, LIPA is still around. Here's their website, lipower.org. They are still around. Public-private partnership. Long Island Jobs, local decision, not-for-profit utility. All right? So LIPA is still around. All right? They are still around. We contract with PSEG Long Island, a subsidiary of the Public Service Enterprise Group, to operate LIPA's electric system under a 12-year contract. So they are just the contractor. Nothing has changed. It's just like it was before. Just instead of National Grid, now it's PSEG. But LIPA still calls the shots. They're still the ones calling the shots. They still exist. And the governor seems to wants to blame PSEG. This was his doing. He should point the finger at himself. All right, here's more proof. They select the budget. They select the utility plan. They decide the rates. PSEG is just a contractor. It's LIPA that decides almost everything. They own the power grid. They decide how much money PSEG can spend on mutual aid during these disasters. And it's LIPA's fault for not being prepared. Oh, and Laura Curran is speaking up about this unacceptable. She's not happy with PSEG Long Island. But where does she go? Where does she go? Where does she go? She goes to in Merrick, the South Shore. It's all about the South Shore. She is in the South Shore. Yeah, it looks pretty bad, but what about the leaning pole? What about that? She is again. I mean, come on already. What about the middle of the island? Nobody cares about the middle of the island. It's just unbelievable. And we go to PSEG Long Island's outage map here, which is not providing accurate information. And we'll go outages by area, because that might be more accurate than the map itself, if we can load it. And we'll look at Nassau County. And we take a look and see the hardest hit area. Gee, who has the least amount of outages? The town of Hempstead now, because it's the South Shore. So maybe they're restoring power on the South Shore faster, for all we know. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. You look at Suffolk County, it's the North Shore that has much more outages. The restoration's been much slower there. All right? Well, the South Shore, it's all about the South Shore. News 12, the majority, they had one story in the middle of the island. The rest was on the South Shore. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's discrimination what's going on. And now you got PSEG Long Island caught up in this whole thing here. And we can go to their Twitter, and we'll go right to their homepage, and we'll click their Twitter, and you can see all the happy customers that they have. Quote-unquote not happy customers, but they claim fewer than 108,000 are without power. All right, they show pictures here where they are here. Doesn't say where they are. At least they did provide some outreach centers. All right. But I mean, this. Let's look at the comments here on the latest one here. All right, we got to click this to get the comments. Let's see. So why are you ignoring Levittown at this point? All right. You know, Hicksville doesn't count. Yep. Hicksville, Levittown, East Meadow. No numbers being reduced. It's the middle of the island. Why is Bethpage not seeing any help? You know, because it's the middle of the island. They don't care about the middle of the island. No power for 4 days now going. I understand you can't get the power back instantly. All right, but people can't. There's a down wire in the backyard. There are a lot of dangerous things out there. There's an outage in North Belmore. But the ETRs keep getting changed. While we were at Hicksville, still doesn't have power and no ice. So apparently they ran out of ice in Hicksville. So I mean, there's so many comments, so many complaints. This is ridiculous. All right, absolutely ridiculous and completely unacceptable. And yes, Hicksville is being ignored because nothing I've seen has been fixed. Nothing. This pole is still leaning like that. And there's another one behind this building here along the train tracks. It's also leaning in the distance that you can see. Notice the graffiti, of course. But again, it's the middle of the island, so it doesn't count. We know the deal already. We know the deal, of course. You can't speak up and talk about how the South Shore gets treated better than everybody else, because if you do, you know what's going to happen. Yeah, I recently got kicked out of yet another Facebook page that has been hijacked by these snobs on the South Shore. That's right. I'm not going to name it, but this is what goes on. This is what goes on, and you can't say anything. Yes, people on the South Shore are being screwed by PSEG too. I'm not saying they're not, but it seems like the middle of the island and the North Shore are just getting ignored. More than the rest of the island. I mean, come on, Laura Curran, she's on Merrick. What about in Hicksville? What about that leaning pole in Westbury that I sent you a message about? Why haven't you gotten back to me? I reached out to News 12 about the leaning pole. Haven't heard back either. They don't care. But if it was on the South Shore, I'm sure something would be done about it. But because it's in the middle of the island, it just doesn't count. But then we all go back to the corruption of Governor Andrew Cuomo, who basically tried to rebrand LIPA, but it's still the same LIPA it was during Sandy. Nothing has changed. You can see that by their response. Nothing has changed at all, not one bit. In fact, it might even be worse now because there's even more corruption and discrimination going on. All right? I'm not going to blame PSEG, the company. A lot of people are mad at them. But you've got to understand, it's the same people running the show. The same people that are running LIPA are running this. It's the same people. The governor, he's upset. He's pointing the finger. He's mad. Governor Cuomo, you're the one that created this mess because you still have LIPA around. Because you should have gotten rid of LIPA completely. And when you look at New Jersey, PSEG in New Jersey, JCP&L, and even Con Ed in the city, there's no government organization running that. That is the company. But this power system on Long Island is being run by the government. And that, my friends, is the problem. All right? You have Cuomo and his cronies running the show. And he's going to try to scapegoat PSEG, which did a pretty damn good in New Jersey. Both PSEG and JCP&L have restored probably 3/4 of the people that have been knocked out, all right, in Jersey, all right? So they're doing a good job in Jersey. The problem is not PSEG. The problem is LIPA. LIPA needs to go away once and for all. All right, Governor, if you're serious about doing something, you need to get rid of LIPA completely, have PSEG assume complete ownership of the grid. Once they do, then they'll be under the purview of the Public Service Commission. All right, LIPA actually is exempt from the Public Service Commission. All right, so because they're a government organization, so LIPA needs to go completely. All right, but we know you won't let that happen because you want your control, Mr. Governor. But we all know that Governor Cuomo is a very corrupt governor. Yes, he's done a lot of good things in New York. I'm not saying he hasn't. Between the third track project, between the response to the virus, between we even have our own hand sanitizer in New York clean. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Governor Andrew Cuomo is extremely corrupt, and he needs to be exposed, and he needs to face charges for this. And this corruption needs to be exposed so we can fix it. All right? But we all know a certain group of people, they don't want this to ever change. They want to ruin the middle of the island. We know the deal already. They got off easy from Isaias. They didn't get flooded. And I'm sure they're very happy about it and probably bragging about it. But we've got to deal with these power outages. This is unacceptable. Too many people are still without power. The response is too slow. And there are a lot of dangerous things that are going on. This thing worries me the most, this transmission line in Westbury. The fact that it's hanging over the tracks. It's hanging away from the tracks. It's hanging over a road toward, I believe, the Westbury Animal Hospital. The station is still open. If that line comes down, it's 67 kilovolts, which is a very high. It's a transmission line or a sub-transmission line. So there's going to be a huge explosion. It's going to cause a fire. People could get hurt, and it's going to probably knock out the power in the whole area and to wind up suspending the Long Island Railroad. Do we want that to happen? No. I don't know why this isn't a priority right now for anyone, but of course, because it's in the middle of the island, it doesn't count. But rest assured, I report on this stuff because nobody else seems to want to report on it. Everybody's afraid of a certain demographic and what they think. I don't give a crap about what they think. I'm going to speak my mind, whether they like it or not. And that's going to be it for this video. Take care.